A good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw into the hands of McLaurin. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Pick drop by Trayvon Diggs. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some of the media this week are pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, it was something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. That's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe, but that's much easier said than done.
Ready? Hey!
They'll try and throw for it here. He's got it to Williams. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points, and because they kind of got away with one, maybe you come back and throw something similar again to show that you're not afraid, that you're not going to back down, and take your shot. Let the defense know that you're going to be there all game long.
From just shy of midfield, Herbert. And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And throw incomplete as well. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, you shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 64 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top.
Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Brett Maher on for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. From the 6.
The Commanders take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick six. So dealing with his deficit here. We'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. First and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Herbert's throw here taken in by Ingram. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
Man, it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Herbert jet sweep as he taps it forward. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them...
And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. 6-0 our score after 1. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. Herbert. And incomplete on the deep ball. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's toward... Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll start by running the option to the right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Here's Herbert. And a dump off here to Robinson. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And they couldn't get anything going there out of the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. On now to punt. Here's Bradley Pinion. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun on 3rd down. Foot.
Swinging this out for Pollard.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Back to throw. Foot.
Right side to Williams.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw. Foot. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
The Commanders' defense holds, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
Another try after the first down sack.
Herbert got this complete to Jahan Dotson. Now the Commanders going to burn the second of their timeouts,
as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
This is taken at the 23. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Cowboy offense going to head out now late in this first half.
And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. These two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they're looking for another win here in Washington to take the season sweep. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Got his man. It's Williams. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
That is caught by Lamb. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 24-yard line.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Marr able to put this one through, and that will make this a 9-point lead.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well, and kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. No reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1.
Well, we're in the latter stages of this season. Everybody's getting antsy, so antsy that we're going to skip the halftime and get ready for the third quarter.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Cowboy offense set to go to begin this third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Back to throw. Foot. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Had no command that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw on third down. Foot.
Pass to Tony Pollard out of the backfield. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up fourth down. needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback.
And boy, that's going to be close. He didn't get much at all there, but he got the first. Looked like they might have held him defensively, but the referee signals it will be a first down.
Looking to throw. Foot. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, they've been back on the heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Well, this is caught by Williams. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on 3rd down. Foot.
Open man, Lamb. It's complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 41-yard line.
Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
From Commander's territory now, it's 1st and 10.
At the 41. They'll look to throw again. It's complete to Williams.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He finds his target. It's Schultz.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 12-yard line.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Foot.
That's caught again by Schultz.
Holding. Offense.
So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that could be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Foot. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Takes it at the 7, and he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though.
Back now at FedEx Field. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4.
From the 30 on 2nd down. Herbert. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. 7 yards there and a first down.
fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Flushed out right. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense...
On Herbert, his third interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Come on. Hey.
Looking to throw. Foot. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cowboys. Jamison Williams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Herbert. Finds his tight end Ingram. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He targets Ingram for another grab. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Commanders football as we get back to it. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Herbert on first down now. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Now a throw here to his running back. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's second down.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Herbert back to the air. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. Well, the field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And a short pickup here as he'll going to cross the 10 to the 11-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Here we go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Taking on the midfield logo. So a change of possession here on the punt. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw here taken in by Ingram. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Evan Ingram from 13 yards out. And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And Evan Ingram able to finish it off with a touchdown reception. And the Cowboys are going to secure the football, and with it, they'll just about secure the victory as well. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. That one looks like he'll throw here. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Anthony Schwartz. His first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are closing in on a 14-0 record as they extend their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us?
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Cowboys come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown. And that was